Good morning, Catherine. Today is Saturday, and I'm home! Yesterday, I took a bus from Boston right after my class, and I went to surprise you at your dorm, and it was a brilliant plan. I went from Boston to Hartford, and then Hartford to Storrs, and it was going to be beautiful, and I showed up outside your window, I called you, and you were in a different building, so then I had to find you. I think it was a good surprise. It was very well planned out, and you liked it, so that was a real-life thing that happened. I came home for the weekend, just so I could hang out and so I could surprise you, which was really fantastic and went really, really well. And then we just got back from watching Divergent with Rebecca and Cassie. It was a really good movie. I was not expecting a lot out of it because the movie itself got pretty bad reviews, but I haven't read the book, so I wasn't really expecting all that much. I'd just seen the previews. I think it was a really well done movie. I liked it. I was engaged through all of it. Some of it was very confusing, like I didn't remember the 5 factions. I think I would have remembered it better if I had read the book, which I do plan on doing now because after watching that movie, it's very interesting to me. So I wanted to tell you something very interesting about my Captain America double feature. So I was sitting next to this guy and he started to strike up a conversation with me and Kendi, which was really weird for me because from being in the Northeast and on the East Coast, you don't strike up a conversation with a stranger. That's just not something that we're very used to. And then he told me that he was from rural Wisconsin, so it made sense that he would just start talking to me. But he was telling me about the fact that he's in the publishing industry, and I was like, oh cool, I'm a writer. And he was like, oh, well, what do you write? And I said, well, mostly I write nonfiction, but I did NaNoWriMo, so I have a book of fiction that I could potentially publish, but at the moment it's in the editing stages. And so he told me, he was like, oh man, what you should do is, if you're much more comfortable writing short stories, send them into publications like The New Yorker or magazines or newspapers or something like that, because they'll publish your short stories, and then you can get a written form of consent that says that you still own the rights to your work, and then you can get a book of all of the work that's been published somewhere else. And then you could bring it to a publisher years later and say, well, all of this stuff has been published before, but I want it published all at the same time in one place. Can you make that happen? And then I could potentially make that happen. So I'm very excited for that. I think it's a really awesome prospect for that, because for as long as I can remember, I've wanted to make money off my writing. And I think this is a very good step in that direction. I also had a really fantastic time at Captain America. I got to hang out with my friend Kendi, and I got to see the new movie. It was a little disorienting because it was in 3D, but it was really fantastic because it was a really, really well done movie. Now I just have to study for my exams, and I have about 3 weeks left of school. I have 2 weeks until I'm home again for Easter, and then I have another week of classes, and then I'm home for Rebecca's show, and then I have a week of exams. So technically it's 4 weeks, but it's 3 weeks of me actually going to class. I'm looking forward to getting all of my stuff finished and being done with school, because I think I'm just really done with the school year. I'm really ready to just be home for a little while to just kind of recoup and remember what it's like to be a functional human being, which is not going to help with the fact that I'm going pretty much straight into full-time work, and I'll be working probably as much as I did last summer, if not more. So I'll be working from pretty much the day that I come home all the way into August. I think what I'm gonna do this year, which I did differently last year, is I'm gonna end work a little early, because even though I'm going abroad and I don't leave until September, I still want to have that time to just recoup and hang out for a little while, because what happened last summer is I was just totally burnt out and I didn't have a chance to really calm myself down before going right into school, and I think that really affected the way that I functioned at the beginning of the semester, which was not well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that I'm going to end in probably the middle of August, and I'm not going to work ESPN day. I'm just going to end in the middle of August and then just stay home and clean our room and clean the basement and just kind of like, I guess, just finish working on stuff that I've planned to do for other weeks, and just get it all done, finish it, and feel like I've accomplished something, and then just get ready to go to England, because I have to prepare myself for that. So other than that, I will see you on Monday with new installments of the Catherine Maddie Show rather than the Catherine Maddie in England show. So with that, I'll see you on Monday.